Many DSTV users experience problems almost every week. One day the TV works perfectly, the next day, the screen shows no signal, sometimes channels disappear, sometimes the picture freezes or an error message appears. Most people immediately think something serious has happened. They assume the decoder is damaged. Some think the subscription is no longer active, others rush to call a technician. But in most cases, none of those are the real problem. The truth is simple: DSTV problems are usually not caused by the decoder itself, they are caused by signal issues, installation quality, or communication delays. In this video, you will fully understand how DSTV works, why these problems happen, and how to identify them correctly. Once you understand this system, you will stop guessing, stop panicking, and stop spending money unnecessarily. Let's begin from the foundation. DSTV operates using satellite television technology. Unlike streaming services that use internet data, DSTV sends television signals from a satellite in space directly to your home. That satellite stays fixed above the Earth and continuously broadcasts signals downward. Your satellite dish is designed to receive those signals. The dish reflects the signal toward the LNB, which is the small device at the front of the dish. The LNB amplifies the weak signal and sends it through a coaxial cable into your decoder. The decoder then processes the information and displays it on your television. This entire system depends heavily on signal quality, and this is where most problems begin. Satellite signals are extremely weak by the time they reach your home. They travel tens of thousands of kilometers before reaching your dish. Because of this, even small disturbances can affect them. A slight movement of the dish, a loose connector, water inside a cable, heavy clouds, or weak alignment, any of these can cause problems. This is why DSTV systems must be installed accurately. Now let's talk about the most common DSTV problem: no signal. When your DSTV shows no signal, it means the decoder is not receiving enough signal from the satellite. It does not mean the decoder is faulty. It does not mean your subscription is expired. It simply means the signal strength or quality has dropped below the minimum level required for DSTV to work properly. Signal quality should usually be above 60%. When it drops below that, the decoder cannot lock onto the satellite. This causes the no signal message. The most common cause is dish misalignment. Satellite dishes must face a very precise direction. If the dish is even slightly off position, the signal can disappear completely. Wind is a major cause of this. Over time, wind slowly pushes the dish out of position. This movement is often too small to notice with the eyes, but large enough to affect signal. Poor mounting also causes this problem. If the dish pole is not firmly fixed, vibration slowly changes alignment. This is why some people experience no signal after storms or strong wind. Another major cause is cable problems. The cable between the dish and the decoder carries the signal. If that cable is old, cracked, bent, or water damaged, signal becomes weak. Water inside the cable is very common. During rain, moisture enters through loose connectors and travels slowly inside the cable. Over time, this reduces signal strength until problems begin. Rodents can also damage cables. Even small internal cuts can affect signal quality. Rain is another important factor. Heavy rain weakens satellite signals before they reach your dish. This is known as rain fade. It is normal and unavoidable with satellite TV. However, there is something very important to understand. If your DSTV signal goes off during light rain, your installation is already weak. A properly aligned dish with strong signal can continue working during moderate rainfall. Weak installations fail quickly. That is why some homes lose signal easily while others continue watching. Now let's talk about missing channels. This is another very common issue. You turn on your TV and notice some channels are gone. Usually sports channels or HD channels disappear first. This happens because DSTV channels are broadcast on different frequencies. When signal becomes weak, the decoder cannot receive all frequencies properly. Lower frequency channels may continue working, while others disappear. This does not mean your subscription is wrong, it simply means your signal quality is insufficient. Another reason channels disappear is system updates. DSTV regularly changes channel positions, frequencies, and packages. When this happens, your decoder may temporarily lose some channels until it updates. Sometimes a refresh or reboot is required. In most cases, channels return automatically once synchronization is complete. Now let's talk about picture freezing and pixelation. When the picture breaks into blocks or freezes, this means unstable signal. The decoder is receiving signal, but not consistently. The data arrives in pieces instead of smoothly. This causes the image to break or pause. Common causes include weak dish alignment, old or damaged LNB, water inside cables, loose connectors, dish movement during wind. This is not a decoder problem, it is a signal quality issue. Now let's discuss sound problems. If sound cuts off while the picture continues, it may be related to HDMI cables or unstable signal. Sometimes changing the HDMI cable solves the problem. Other times, improving signal quality fixes both picture and sound. Now let's talk about error messages. DSTV error codes are diagnostic tools. They are messages that help identify where communication is failing. They do not automatically mean something is broken. Some error messages appear when the decoder cannot communicate with DSTV servers. Others appear when signal is weak. Some occur after payment when activation has not completed. In many cases, restarting the decoder and waiting patiently resolves the issue. Power interruptions can also cause temporary communication errors. Now let's talk about subscription active but channels not showing. This is very common. You make payment, receive confirmation, but channels do not open immediately. This usually happens because the decoder has not yet synchronized with DSTV systems. Sometimes it takes time for activation signals to reach the decoder. Restarting the decoder and waiting helps. Refreshing services also helps. This issue is rarely related to signal strength. It is usually a communication delay. Now let's talk about smart LNB systems. Modern DSTV installations use smart LNBs, especially for Explorer and multi-room setups. Smart LNBs distribute signal differently from old systems. They require proper wiring and correct cable ports. Using incorrect ports or cheap splitters causes signal instability. Wrong installation can lead to missing channels, frequent no signal, or decoder errors. Smart LNB systems must be installed properly to work reliably. Now let's talk about installation quality. This is one of the biggest causes of repeated DSTV problems. Poor installation may work initially but fail over time. Loose dish mounts, weak brackets, low quality cables, poor connectors, unsealed joints, all these create long-term issues. Wind slowly shifts the dish, water enters connectors, cables degrade, eventually problems begin. Many people think the problem appeared suddenly, but in reality, it built up gradually. Now here is something very important to understand. Rain does not damage your decoder. Power outage alone rarely spoils a decoder. Subscription payment does not affect signal strength. Most DSTV problems come from outside the house, not inside the decoder. Understanding this saves money. Before calling a technician, always check basic things. Check cable connections. Check if the dish looks moved. Check signal strength and quality in the decoder menu. Restart the decoder and allow time. These simple checks can help you understand what type of problem you are facing. DSTV problems are not mysterious. They follow clear technical reasons. Once you understand how the system works, troubleshooting becomes easier. DSTV can work smoothly for many years when properly installed and maintained. Understanding your system gives you confidence. Instead of panic, you begin to think logically, and that is the goal of this guide. If this video helped you understand your DSTV better, consider subscribing for more clear explanations and practical troubleshooting guides. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.